Are you a dentist?
I am.
Do you need this?
Hang on to it, will you? So what happened?
Well,
Merry Christmas! Oh my God!
uh-oh. What's the needle situation?
The situation is that we use needles. Open your mouth. Hello. What's going on?
This morning, Dad got married.
So they're doing their reception.
Tonight. I know Christmas Eve is your favorite.
It's good. It's okay.
I love you, Mom. I'll see you tomorrow.
Merry Christmas. I love you.
Hey guys, nice to see you.
How you doing? Thank
I,
you so much for having us.
I hear you're having so much fun that everything's delayed now because you guys are having so much fun doing these interviews.
Yeah,
Jay, it's great to see you, man. It's probably been 15 years. Since
I know, right? Yeah,
I feel like I see Mark like at least once a year or twice a year, but like
yeah,
you,
he's much more outward facing than I am. Yeah.
but you're doing a lot of TV and a lot of like production and stuff like that. But this is great. This is a really fun, wonderful movie. That's one of the reasons I want to cover it because I want people to go out and see it.
Thank you.
I guess the first question is like Jay, Michael, how did you two meet? Michael, were you working on this before the script on your own and just kind of Jay came along, or?
This is all the nucleus of Jay and I. And Jay just kind of took my origin story and made it, just nurtured it so well. We met on Christian Mingle. We met on Instagram. He sent me I sent him a DM to just because I noticed he followed me and I was like, oh my God. I took a shot and he responded 6 months later and because he said he was old. I don't think he's old at all. But and then he helped me with this short film and then I took him out as a thank you and I told him a little bit about my story, how I got sober, and and then he called me 4 months later and was like, "Hey, I want to back in someone's life and do a movie, and you're the first person that came to mind. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "That question has never been asked to me, and yes, 1,000%." And then we just started writing.
And, Jay, I was kind of surprised. I thought you had done a solo directing feature before. Is this not the case, or?
This is technically my first.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like when Mark and I made the puffy chair, it was like just two guys just making stuff, and he was mostly in front of the camera and I was behind it. But yeah, this is the first like proper movie that I've made, without Mark as a co-director and as a co-writer. So it was a big deal, and it's been a long time coming for me. It's we made a lot of movies in the early aughts and the late aughts, and it's that my dream was always to be the Coen Brothers 2.0,
Mhm.
and we had that moment for a little while, but I think it just took us a long time to figure out that, look, directing is the hardest job in the whole, you know, I do all the jobs. I've done them all. Directing is by far the hardest. And if you don't really, really want it, it's not for you. And, I think it took Mark and me a long time to figure out that that's not what he really wants to do. And it is what I really want to do. And, you know, that was a long time coming. And when I figured that out, we just kind of like plunged into a pandemic, and it was like almost impossible to make an independent film during the pandemic, like a COVID budget costs more than an independent film
Oh,
costs,
wow. Yeah.
and then I thought I was coming out of that. We had the strikes, and it was hard for me to get momentum. Um, and eventually, I met Michael, and I just started thinking, maybe I can go back to the Puffy Chair days, which was essentially a movie that was made about, Mark's in my life at the time, and starred, himself and his girlfriend, who is now his wife, and we had all those available materials at the time, and we had a couple of actors who were feeling very unexpressed, and really had some stuff to say and stuff to show. And that's exactly what I found in Michael and also in Liz, and bringing as much to from their lives as I could to this project so that it would be as authentic and meaningful as possible. And I think we were all feeling very much like Cliff and Didi at that time. We really wanted to make something and give our all to something. And luckily Baltimore was there to receive us with open arms.
Yeah, I want to bring Liz into the conversation. Liz, Michael, do you guys know each other before this, or how do you guys find each other and get involved in this, Liz?
Jay Duplass.
Okay.
He found us.
Also on Christian Mingle, I guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Christian Mingle, yes.
Christian
Um,
Mingle.
J date.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Kristen Mingle for Menage a Trois.
yeah, polyamory.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I know he found us. He found us just by instinct.
But
Certainly not by auditions or anything else.
are you
By
from
instinct.
Baltimore also by any chance, or no?
No, I'm
No,
from
okay.
Bucks County, Pennsylvania, New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Oh, not too far away. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
East Coast.
So what was your impression? Did you just get a screenplay and kind of, or did you know Jay from his work and kind of got interested, or what kind of how that happened?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Say again. Say
Oh, like did they just send you a script, or kind of did Jay just reach
no,
out?
no.
Oh,
There was
nothing at all.
absolutely
Okay.
no script.
Oh, okay.
Jay had seen me in a musical
Oh,
in LA, and he called me 6 months later and had lunch with me. And we did not talk about a script. We did not talk about any movies. We talked about our personal lives in the pandemic, and he called me 2 weeks later, and I was on set with him. He just had a feeling. He
okay.
just had a feeling,
Hmm.
a lot of feelings.
Yeah. What musical was it by any chance? Well, I was curious. What musical?
Well, it was the musical version of Transparent, the series that he had done.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
this, yeah, and I played Judith Light's part. I played his mother.
Well, I thought you played Jay's role.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Wow.
They switched that thing up. But yeah, so he saw it, and that's how he kind of found me.
Nice. Now, Michael, I assume you're really a stand-up comic. That's also part of your real life, or
I did sketch and improv. That
oh,
was my
something
big.
okay.
Yeah, I did Groundlings for many years, and that's kind of where I got my start and got an opportunity to you know, go to SNL and do the big thing, and didn't go my way, and and then got sober shortly thereafter. So
And what made you want to kind of like explore this particular story, tell this particular story, which is like pretty much all in one night, Christmas Eve, Baltimore, very, two-hander.
that was very much. I mean, that's Jay. Like we kind of. I kind of told him early sobriety and how I felt during early sobriety in my first 6 months, and then we kind of backed it into locations that we had in Baltimore, and very much like Jay, had an idea years ago, or ruminating. He's told us about an emergency dentist opportunity, and he found a place for it here.
Now, Jay, you made Outside In with the wonderful and sadly missed Lynn Shelton a bunch of years ago, and I know she has a very specific way of working. I know she changed it around and started doing more full scripts. I mean, what was
Yeah.
what was your take on this? Did you want to have a full script before you went to Baltimore and start shooting, or did you still want to have like just things so you can allow the actors to kind of riff?
It's seldom known, but I've always worked with full scripts.
Yeah.
I've always written everything out in painstaking detail and rewriting it. I do still encourage my actors to improvise if they feel an instinct or if they want to say something that's coming to mind. I mean, honestly, most of the improv usually comes from me when I'm watching them do what they're doing. I can watch Liz and I can see her maybe struggling with something that might not quite be right writing wise, or maybe she wants to say more, and that's part of the greatness of like having really close relationship personally with the people that you're working with, because I can say things like, Liz, do you want to tell him this right now? And she might be like, yeah, well, that's what I want to say. I want to hit him with it. So a lot of the improv comes from the actors. It comes from me watching the actors. It comes from Michael and me at the end of the day driving home together and being like, wow, that was way more explosive than we thought it would be. I think it might change what we're about to do tomorrow, and us rewriting that. So, I think there's kind of two kinds of improv, I think, in movies. There's we got the scene, now let's improvise some jokes. And then there's maybe there's three kinds. Then there's
Hmm.
another one which is full improv movies where you just put actors in a room and you're like, let's go. Let's see what happens.
Right.
And then there's kind of like the improv that I employ, which I like to call goal-based improvisation, which is you have a full script, you have all the words that you need to say. If you want to change it, great. And I think that really helps because it makes everybody really be in the moment. But it's really dramaturgically based, and when you have actors who really understand what the purpose of a scene is, what the event of a scene is, and what their drive in a scene is, what they're trying to accomplish in that scene, you know, it's not like you're out to sea. You use a script if you want. If you want to do more, if you want to do less, do more, do less. And that other actor also has to know that anything could happen in this moment. And I think that feeling of anything can happen in this moment is transmitted to the audience, whether they can articulate it or not. They know when something's controlled and when it's not controlled. And um, I although we have all these supports to stand on, ultimately what we're after is real life lightning striking, and everybody kind of knows that, and it's not fully controlled. And I think that feeling is like probably like the magic of what we have to offer for with a low budget film without like, movie stars that are going to just sell territories before people have even seen the movie.
Yeah. Now, Liz, Didi is a dentist. So I want to ask you, first of all, about playing a dentist, about taking on that role and whether or not it was something you had to do some studying or just feel comfortable in that. And then the other one I want to ask you, second question, a two-part question. I want to ask about if you have an improv background yourself, because obviously being put with Michael and there's actually a whole scene on stage where your character has to suddenly do improv.
I really don't. I mean, I have an acting background, and I do understand the concept of yes and, but just listening to Michael is a master. I mean, he'll just take you wherever you need to go. So as long as I listen and respond, I was never lost, never lost. Now the dentist thing, I I of course, as they know, have a an addiction to sugar. And I have been at my dentist's. I have a very close relationship with my dentist because I've gone through a lot. In fact, I'm
Okay.
going through something now. But anyway, so he was so excited. And I know a lot. I mean, I've had just about everything done to me. So, I've spent hours and hours and hours with this man and his hygienist. So
Give him
I
a
felt
shout.
very comfortable.
Give him a shout out.
Oh, Dr. Guy Manoli.
Nice. Nice. That's
He's
it in LA, Los
he's gonna
Angeles?
come. He's gonna
Okay.
come see it.
Nice. By the way, Michael, are you going to send this movie to Lauren Michaels and just say, "Hey, this is what you missed out on"?
I send everything that I do to Lauren Michaels and say, "You really missed the boat, brother."
Um, by the way,
Yeah.
so speaking of the improv and that stuff, I mean, I think two of the great scenes in this movie are the Christmas party and the improv club, because it kind of like when you start throwing like even a scripted thing into those environments, how do having like other people there kind of like add to what Michael and Liz are doing throughout the movie?
Yeah,
Anyway,
those are definitely like the big set piece scenes for us. Yeah, I mean, well, look, most of the extras are Michael's family and friends. That's just what it came down to. That's what we could afford. That's what was happening in Baltimore. It felt wonderful and supported, honestly. It was cool. It was great vibes. Um, the improv scene was the toughest scene by far. It was a very, very complicated scene, and we all kind of knew that it wasn't there when we first shot it. It was we shot we did some additional shooting to shoot the expansiveness of Baltimore later on, and but we had to come back and reshoot that improv scene, and there's probably you know 5 or 6 acts in that scene alone of just like the sort of stumbling blocks and reversals and triumphs, and there's even part of the love story starts to develop there. um Super complex scene. I think it's kind of a microcosm of the whole movie. And so that was a tough one. And we had to reshoot it in July in like probably 95-degree weather with their coats on. So that was intense, but yeah, I mean, you know it's also just challenging to show comedy on stage. You really can't put comedy on stage and expect an audience in a movie theater to respond to the comedy and regard it as straight entertainment, you know. It was interesting. We did some of that in the first version and it didn't play as well. And then Michael and I decided in the second version that we were going to go straight storytelling and that, you know, of course, Cliff's funny and Michael's funny and he can come up with funny things to stay on stage, but we weren't going to rely on that as entertainment. It was the story of him failing and Didi stepping up and taking a chance and going on stage with him when she had already said she was a no butter. You know, and them floundering together and kind of reinventing what Cliff thought that sketch was going to be. I mean, all that was one of the more complicated things that I've ever written, to be completely honest. It took many months in editorial to really figure out what that needed to be. And it many drafts, probably 15, 20 drafts of that. So it's interesting when people are like, I mean, it's been going on since the first days of mumblecore filmmaking, you know, when we were showing up at South by Southwest in 2005 with a bunch of improvised films and people were like, "Why is your movie selling and all these other movies aren't selling?" Or why, you know, why do we keep coming back to this movie? And my whole thing is like, because it's not improvised. It's like I'm obsessed with plot. I'm obsessed with plotting and the craft of screenwriting, the craft of storytelling. And as these guys will attest, I am relentless about pushing things and rewriting things and throwing things away that are maybe even a B plus. I will throw it away. I will not really settle for anything that's the best that I can put forward at that point in time. And I've been doing it for like 30 years now. So these guys were very patient with me and very trusting with me. I mean, like, you know, on the first day of shooting, I threw out the first 7 pages of the script,
Mm.
which
Oh.
were there and they're gone. They're not there anymore. So, you know, they really had to trust me and they did, and it means the world to me.
Yeah. Speaking of
Use it as
mumblecore, oh, sorry, go ahead,
use it
Michael.
as Kindle for fires because it was so cold in Baltimore.
Right. Speaking of mumblecore, the Metrograph just did a little series on mumblecore, and they showed the puffy chair, which was amazing. I
Yes.
mean, I used to work with the same like very small crews when you go to and we go to a place like Baltimore. I mean, I know The Wire shot there, probably with HBO money, but like,
Yep.
is there any kind of infrastructure in Baltimore to make a movie, even like a small movie like this?
Yeah, they have some crew there, but it's very inconsistent. And we did shoot with a very small crew. We probably had about 15 people on the ground in Baltimore, and you know, that's all we could really afford. And you know, when you're running around on the streets of Baltimore, which by the way, the permit for the entire movie to shoot on the streets of Baltimore was $45. You
Nice,
know,
awesome.
we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off, you know, just putting stuff inside a camera. You need a small crew of really dedicated people. So yeah, I kind of went back to my roots with that and, you know, just made a tiny movie with a little guerrilla crew.
And
Was Puffy?
everybody
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and everybody that was on our crew like wanted to be there. They loved what
Ah,
we were making, and it was like the
Yeah.
best group of people that assembled right before Christmas.
they were like 10 degrees out, 2 in the morning on the water. Let's go.
Yeah.
They
Go.
were great.
Yeah, you kind of tell. You can always tell when a movie like this when people are having fun and enjoying it. But by the way, Jay, is was Puffy Chair really the first Netflix movie ever? Because I feel like I saw when I saw it again,
Uh,
there was a Netflix logo. I remember they did that thing with the
Puppy Chair
DVD
was
years.
there.
Yeah,
They yeah, it was the first. I believe there were four movies that Ted picked up that year at
right.
Festival, that
He
were the
distributed.
first streaming movies on Netflix. And the
Oh,
way that
oh,
it worked is, you know, back then Netflix was a DVD service. They would mail you DVDs, you'd watch the DVD, you'd mail it back. And inside the flap, you could open it up, and on the inside there was a website
right.
and it would say like Netflix slash 134 Puffy 257 or whatever. And you would click on that and you'd watch a movie. And I literally said out loud, no one's ever going to type a link into a website and watch a movie on their computer.
Right.
That's how foreign it was at that
Yeah,
time.
You created the monster of streaming.
I
you
created the
did.
monster of
You
streaming.
did.
Nice.
But I mean,
Well,
you know, that was a tiny little $10,000 homemade movie that, you know,
Whew.
got seen by gargantuan amounts of people. I feel like I've been really lucky in my career. I mean, part of it is just showing up repeatedly and then eventually the events come by. But, making movies when that first 24 frame camera came out that essentially kicked off the mumblecore movement, selling my first movie to Netflix to be their first streaming movie. I mean, even being on Transparent, the TV show, when they were like, we're making a web show on the website that where you buy your toilet paper. That's what it felt like at the time,
Right.
But it really does come
Yeah.
down to just showing up repeatedly, and then eventually you just keep showing up and you show up at the right time every once in a while.
Yeah, no, I think I first saw it on a Netflix DVD. Like I think I just rented it, and I also thought, like, what's this website for? What's that? What, I don't know what
Yeah.
that. It was very like early
Yeah,
thing.
how do you watch a movie on the website? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Michael, what are you doing next, Michael? Have you been thinking about other stuff? I mean, this came out at South by, I guess, so it's been a 6 months, 7 months. So
I got lucky and I just shot a movie with Rob Lowe and Gillian Jacobs and Will Brill called The Musical, which will be out hopefully next year. And then I shot another movie called Tuesday, New York with David Krumholtz and Erica Dasher and Peter Vack and Omar Salazar, who
Nice.
it was a ton of fun. So things are starting to go. We'll see. Just enjoying this moment though for right now.
nice. And Jay, you have another movie? You've already been working on your next movie as well, or is that not right?
Yeah, I shot a movie called See You When I See You at the end of last year. We're just finishing it up right now and hoping to start festival run soon. But yeah, feeling really lucky that I've gotten to make 2 independent films in 2 years.
Yeah. And Liz, what's your normal? Do you have a normal gig you do, or do you kind of just do it
Well, I've
after
been
too?
since we shot this, I've been all over the country doing theater,
Okay,
doing a lot of theater
nice.
for no
You
money.
do you generally try to do like more TV and film stuff, or is theater really like the bread and butter? That's kind
Theater
of
was
like,
how I started.
no?
So yeah, now I'd rather 8 shows a week. It's not that, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Things are about to change, Liz Larsen. 100 screens this fall, Baltimorons.
That's great. Yeah, I really love it. I mean, I saw it at the IFC Center. I got to see it in a theater with not many people, but enough people to
Yeah.
like see that it does play well.
Good.
Great.
And
Good.
great. It's so wonderful meeting you guys. Talk to you guys. I hope Baltimoreans will be September 5th, New York, and September 12th everywhere else. And I think people who see it are gonna love it, and hopefully they'll. Oh, by the way, one last question. Do you guys consider this a romantic comedy or a buddy comedy? Because I was kind of like going back and forth a little bit. I was curious what you guys felt as far as genre.
I mean,
both.
to me, I don't think it's a romantic comedy. It has all those elements, but to me, it's more of like a buddy comedy. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Great, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much. Thanks, Sierra. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
support.
Always.
Much.
But my entire family is 2 blocks that way.
Let's crash a party.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hello? Mom? What are you doing?
Hi, everybody. Clip Cashin. Really thrilled to be here. Your mom's pretty awesome. We've been having the most amazing day together.
Me lady.
I can get out of the car on my own, you jackass.
All around the same time, I went through menopause. My ex dumped me for a much younger woman, and I became a grandmother.
What?
Your face. Where are we going with this kid?
I have no idea. I just really like you.
Is that the ghost from Christmas Past?
Where's the next ghost of Christmas past? Or did you divorce her already?
Well, I guess that makes me the ghost of Christmas present. Cliff Cashin, still really thrilled to be here, gang. Thank you.